Hello everyone! So hello mga kaguro, mga kasama kong guro sa Department of Education na I know na hirap kayo sa pag-compute ng grades, so preparation for moving up ceremony and graduation ceremony. So ngayon naman ay preparation na for accomplishing IPCRF. So ito ay panahon na naman ng ating IPCRF. Before we enjoy the rest of our vacation this school year 2020-2021. So congratulations nga pala sa ating lahat at matagumpay natin na ito with ang school year 2020-2021 sa gitna ng pandemic. So today I'm going to share to you yung accomplishing IPCRF for school year 2020-2021. So let me share my screen. Okay, so dito na muna tayo sa Annex A, Guide on the Use of the EIPCRF tool for school year 2020-2021, attachment to DMPHROD 2021-0498. So the first step is open the DepEd prescribed IPCRF parts 1 to 4 school year 2020-2021 MS Excel file. Next, enable macros. Click enable editing and enable content. Note that the process of enabling macros may differ in different version of MS Excel. Diba, we are encouraged to use the MS 360. So, applicable yan dyan. So, ma-open agad yan. Makakaroon agad tayo ng access. Next, in the encoding tab, accomplish part 1 is starting with the field for teacher, division, and school information. Read the instructions carefully. Enter the needed information by either typing in the empty cells or by clicking the drop-down arrow in selecting demographic information applicable to you. So if you will observe, may mga portion dyan na may drop-down arrow such as region, division, and so on. The rest ay ita-type in na lang natin. Next, continue accomplishing part 1 appropriate to your position in the encoding tab. Encode the COT rating per observation period by doing the following steps. Select the subject or discipline related to your subject for COT. Input the COT rating per objective. Encode date of observation. Click lock COT button once finished. Provide a single password for COT1 and 2 to protect your data. Additional reminders. There are 2 classroom observations for school year 2020-2021. Hence, ratees should only submit 2 classroom observation tool rating sheets or inter-observer agreement form as MOB for objectives that require such. If no CO2 was submitted, if you missed to have our second CO2 if ever, the ratee was not able to provide a valid reason for non-submission. The default COT2 score will be a 3. So automatic, ang score na makukuha nyo for COT2 column ay 3 kasi yun naman lowest, which is the lowest rating of course. In case the ratee has a valid reason for submitting only one COT rating sheet, the final rating shall be the COT1 rating. So, it depends to your agreement to the rater. Magkaroon po kayo ng agreement ng rater kung valid naman yung reason why you missed CO number 2, CO o COT number 2. So, mapag-uusapan po iyan. So, para kung ano yung score, it's either copy and paste or exactly the same or you will receive 3 for CO number 2. It shall be, just like what I said, it shall be within the discretion of the rater to allow or disallow submission of CO number 2 depending on whether the reason for non-submission is valid or not. So example, naka-maternity leave yung teacher, so very valid naman talaga iyan. So mapag-uusapan po iyan. Finish accomplish part 1 of the encoding tab. Encode all other IPCRF numerical ratings for Q or quality, E, and timeliness. Okay. Input name and position of approving authority. When COT and the QET ratings are encoded and checked to the accuracy, click Finalize Part 1. Provide the same password when prompted. Click Go, then click OK in the dialog box that will appear. Give the file copy to the teacher concerned who then accomplishes Part 2 in the encoding tab and his or her development plan in Part 4 for sheet of the file. Answer the core behavior competencies part 2 of the encoding tab. Tick the box of the behavioral indicator that you demonstrated during the performance cycle. Click Finalize Part 2 when you are done to save your data. Supply a password to further protect your data. Okay. Click OK. View IPCRF Part 1, 2, 3 sheets. After Step 6, the results of all encoding done, in Encoding tab appear of Parts 1 to 3 sheets. On all contents of this sheet, these sheets are protected from any editing. So kayo lamang po magkakaroon ng access na kasi nilagyan po na ang password. Update your development plan in the Part 4 sheet. The sheet is not protected from any editing. You may add rows if necessary. Click Finalize Part 4, then supply the same password as the one used to finalize Part 2 of Encoding tab. Click Go, then OK. Print parts 1 to 4, click Print parts 1 to 4. The teacher must ensure his or her computer is connected to the printer using the file and print option in MS Excel. He or she must print all pages in the form, complete all require signatures, and submit to the personal division to the school to be attached to his or her 201 personnel file. Lastly, 10, submit a soft copy of the IPCRF electronic form to your rater or school head for the school-wide consolidation using the following format. DepEd prescribed IPCR parts 1 to 4 school year, level, teacher's surname, then first. Okay, so let's now proceed to the IPCRF. Let me share my screen. So yan, ito mismo yung ating DepEd prescribed IPCRF parts 1 to 4 school year 2020-2021. Okay, for teachers 1 to 3. Of course, your name, the name of the employee, your position, teacher 1 to 3, employee number, status, age, sex, level taught, grade level taught, then subject taught. Okay, name of the rater, it's either MT or master teacher, head teacher, or your principal. Position, then date of review, so kung kailan nyo po ni-review, ngayon po yan. Then period, rating period, 2020-2021. Number of years in teaching, highest degree obtained if you already gained doctoral degree and even MA or master's degree. Then area of specialization. Okay, dito sa level thought, it's either junior high school, sa grade level, kunyari if you're junior high school grades 7 to 10, then ito ay senior high school grade 11 to 12. Subject thought kung ano yung tinuturo nyo. Okay. Next region, ito yung sinasabi ko na may arrow down. Yan. Then division, automatic maglalabas yan if you click division. Then municipality or city, your school ID, name of your school, school type. So anong category ng inyong school, kung urban or rural, school size, Yan, alam niyo naman niya kung small, medium, or very large. Then, curricular classification. Yan. Ate, yes, sa junior high school, of course, kita naman dyan. Mm-mm. Okay. Next, eto na. Mhm. So makita natin yung sa objectives. So yung CRA 1, CRA 2, CRA 3, and CRA 4. So if you look sa ab lang. Then ilan tayong objectives meron for this school year? We only have 12. So including the plus factor. Last letter. Then, approving authority, of course, either your principal or your district supervisor kung meron yan. Finalize. Yan. Dito sa core behavioral competencies, i-click nyo lang dyan kung saan kayo makakategorize. So based sa inyong performance cycle, this is school year. Okay, so punta na tayo dito sa part 1. Yan. Okay, sa part 1, of course, yan, don't forget to fill in or fill out yung name, your position, of course, your division, and then rating period, name of rater, position, and date of review. So dapat parehas yan dito sa ating encoding ha. Of course, yung CRA, yung first one, CRA is content, knowledge, and pedagogy. So apply knowledge of content within and across curriculum teaching areas. So that's 24%. So for quality, of course, ang pagbabasihan po natin dito ay ang ating COT rating sheet. Yung result ng ating COT rating sheet. Okay. So objective number 1, so i-refer natin iyan. Okay, so pagkasamahin na. Next, ensure that positive use of ICT to facilitate the teaching and learning process. So yan, yun nga, if we strictly follow yung SUMR, yung substitution, modification, augmentation, and redefined dun sa ating COT. Okay. Next, applied a range of teaching strategies to develop critical and creative thinking as well as other higher order thinking skill. So yun, mag-refer pa rin tayo dun sa ating result na COT. Next, for diversity of learners and assessment and reporting, establish a learner-centered culture by using teaching strategies that respond to their linguistic, cultural, socioeconomic, and religious background. So 24%. So quality, utilize effective teaching strategies that are so ano ang inyong self-assessment. Next, plan and develop. May MOB rin tayo dyan. So yun, papakita natin yung ating mga portfolio, of course. So planned and delivered teaching strategies that are responsive to the special educational needs of the learners in difficult circumstances. This is the indicator number 2 sa ating COT rating sheet. So yun kung ano yung score natin dyan. Next. So ano-ano yung mga attachment natin dito sa number 6. Use strategies for providing timely, accurate, and constructive feedback to improve learner performance. So yan, provide learners with accurate and specific and directed constructive feedback as shown in evidence submitted. So pwede tayong mag-attach dyan ng screenshot ng mga conversation natin sa ating mga GC with the students or with the parents. So yon, feedbacking. So bibigay tayo ng feedback based sa records ng ating assessment, ng ating summative assessment, and even the formative assessment. So as long as we provided, as long as the teachers provided yung mga MOVs na yon, so i-acknowledge agad yan ng ating rater. Next, timeliness. So MOB submitted shows feedback within 5 working days from the submission. So right after na magkaroon tayo doon, so dapat magkaroon agad tayo ng agreement sa ating rater kung ika-count natin yon na to submitted it on time or late. Curriculum and planning. Selected, develops, organized, and use appropriate teaching and learning resources, including ICT, to address learning goals. So for quality, of course, this is our indicator number 3 sa COP. So yon. So just like what I said, is this strictly followed yung sum or, di ba, kasama din yon. So based sa result ng ating COT rating sheet. Then set achievable and appropriate learning outcomes that are aligned with learning competencies. So ano yung mga attachment natin? Pwede yung mga screenshots din or yung mga pictures or yung mga portfolio ng mga bata sa mga output ng mga bata and even din sa inyong pinrepair na assessments for our learners. Next, community linkages and professional engagement in and personal growth and professional development. So build relationships with parents or guardians and the wider school community to facilitate involvement in the educative process. So the quality, sustained engagement with parents or guardians or wider school community to facilitate involvement in the educative process as evidenced by two or more MOB, number 1 or 2. So, take note ha, evidence by 2 or more para makuha natin yung 5. Okay? So, efficiency, submitted any 4 of the acceptable MOV. Take note ha, just any of 4. Okay, next, participated in professional networks to share knowledge and to enhance practices. Participated in professional network activities that requires output or proof of implementation within the school. To share knowledge and to enhance practice as evidenced by the submitted MOV. Submitted 4 different kinds of acceptable MOVs. Okay. So, pwede ito yung mga certificates natin, involvement, di ba? Yung ating mga webinars. So, pwede po yan. Next. Develop a personal improvement plan based on a reflection of one's practice and ongoing professional learning. Updated the development plan and approved by the rater during phase 2 of the RPMS cycle. So dapat during phase 2 pa lang nagkaroon na kayo ng agreement with the rater na ito yung mga things that you will achieve at the end of this school year for your professional development. Diba? Personal improvement. IPCRF DP with any 4 acceptable supporting MOV. Okay, next is plus factor. Perform various related works or activities that contribute to the teaching learning process. So perform at least related work or activity contributed to the teaching learning process beyond the school community learning center as evidenced by any of the 4. So, okay. So, yun yung ating example. You conducted researches in this pandemic. So, you were invited as a speaker in series of seminars or webinars and so on. So, pwede po natin yung include sa plus factor or even you served as chairman of the committee for a certain program or activity. So, i-attach natin yun sa plus factor. Of course, for you to get outstanding, you must achieve 4.5 to 5.0. For very satisfactory, 3.5 to 4.499. Then for satisfactory, 2.5 to 3.499. For unsatisfactory, 1.5 to 2.499. And for poor, below 1.499. So of course, don't forget to include your full name, the name of the rater, then the approving authority or the principal. And don't forget to affix your signature. Ito yung mga competencies. So, core behavioral competencies. So, self-management, professionalism and ethics, results focus, yan, teamwork, service orientation, and innovation. So, yan, automatic dito yan lalabas. Yan, sa part 3. Ito yung development plans. Yeah. So this shit shall be accomplished during phase 1 performance planning and commitment based on the results of ESAT, self-assessment tool, and phase 2 performance monitoring and coaching based on the agreements of performance monitoring and coaching form and mid-year review form. And phase 4 performance rewarding and development planning based on the actual results of IPCRF. The rating can modify the cell, add rows to reflect his or her development needs and strengths. So, depende po sa inyo yung kung ano yung gano'ng kadami yung inyong ilalagay na competencies. But based on the results, syempre, ano yung mga competencies that you need to improve? Diba? Example do sa IPCRF natin sa mga objectives natin, alin yung dapat nabigyan mo ng focus in the next school year. So, yun yung lalagyan mo ng intervention. So for core behavioral competencies based sa result dito, yan, alin dyan yung pinakamababa. So yun lalagyan mo ng intervention na dapat mong i-improve. Ang target mo talaga ay ma-achieve mo yan in the next school year. Then, maglalagay ka ng feedback. Maglalagay ng feedback. So don't forget to write your full name of the rater, and the approving authority or the principal. Okay. So that's the end of the presentation of accomplishing IPCRF for school year 2020 and 2021. So I hope na nakatulong po itong video kong ito. So don't forget to click subscribe and the bell button. Okay? So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening, and to God be all the glory.